Have you ever thought about who truly shaped the dark legacy of Hogwarts? What if one of its founders was more than just a great wizard, but the mastermind behind a dangerous ideology? In today's video, you will find out how Salazar Slytherin's influence still echoes through the wizarding world. The world of Harry Potter has seen many dark wizards, but few stand as tall as Salazar Slytherin. A founder of Hogwarts, a visionary, and a man whose ideas refused to die even centuries after his time. But what made him so legendary? And why do generations of dark wizards still follow his path? Salazar Slytherin lived around the 9th or 10th century. Little is known about his origins except for a single clue. He came from a swampy region, as mentioned in the Sorting Hat's song. Alongside three powerful wizards, he founded Hogwarts and became the head of Slytherin House, named in his honor. For years, he was the closest ally of Godric Gryffindor. But that friendship was doomed. Slytherin was obsessed with blood purity. He despised Muggle-born wizards and fought fiercely against their admission into Hogwarts. His beliefs clashed with the other founders. When no one supported him, he left the school, angry, betrayed, and unwilling to surrender his vision. But before leaving, he ensured his ideas would live on. Deep within Hogwarts, he built the Chamber of Secrets and placed a deadly creature inside, a basilisk, a serpent meant to purge the school of unworthy students. His plan failed in his lifetime, but his legacy of fear and elitism lived on. What happened to him after his departure remains a mystery. His direct bloodline vanished over time, but his descendants on the maternal side carried on his influence, some for good, others for evil. Salazar Slytherin was likely the most powerful wizard of his era, a master of the dark arts, a skilled legilimens capable of reading minds, and a Parselmouth who could command serpents. His gift for speaking Parseltongue was so rare that only his true heirs could open the Chamber of Secrets centuries later. His influence didn't end with his death. His descendants shaped the magical world in ways he could never have imagined. Among them were the Gaunts, an infamous pureblood family that clung to his beliefs, but one name stands out: Tom Riddle, later known as Lord Voldemort. Voldemort was the last known heir of Slytherin. His mother, Merop Gaunt, married a Muggle, shattering the blood purity her family worshipped. This betrayal fueled Voldemort's hatred and drove his obsession with ridding the world of those he saw as unworthy. And so, with Voldemort's fall, the bloodline of Salazar Slytherin seemingly came to an end. Unless, of course, you believe the controversial events of The Cursed Child. Salazar Slytherin was more than just a founder of Hogwarts. He was a visionary, a revolutionary, and a man whose ideas refused to die. Even centuries after his death, his influence lingers, shaping the beliefs of witches and wizards, fueling conflicts and leaving behind a legacy as dark as the chamber he built. Have you ever thought about what hidden secrets still lie buried in the walls of Hogwarts? What if the legacy of Salazar Slytherin continues to weave its dark magic through every corridor? In today's video, you will find out how that legacy has endured through the ages and how its echoes can still be felt in the present day. Long after Slytherin left the school, whispers of his dark magic began to resurface. The very stone of Hogwarts seemed to murmur secrets of old. Many believed that his spirit lingered in the shadows. His voice could be heard in the rustle of ancient tapestries. His ideas were woven into the fabric of the castle itself. Students felt a strange pull as they passed near the hidden chamber. A sense of foreboding always lay in wait. The legend of Slytherin was never far from their minds. As time went on, tales of his deeds grew larger. The founders of Hogwarts had tried to bury his controversial ideas, but the magic of his words proved too potent to be forgotten. Stories passed from one generation to the next. Each tale was told with a mixture of awe and fear. It was said that his lessons were not merely of magic, but of ambition and power. Those who sought greatness found themselves drawn to his teachings. They believed that his vision held the key to a world beyond the ordinary. His name became a symbol for those who would dare to challenge the status quo. In secret gatherings, whispers of his true intentions spread like wildfire. Young wizards and witches who felt misunderstood or outcast looked up to his example. They saw in his defiance a path to greatness. They felt that the rules of the magical community were too restrictive. They believed that true power lay in embracing the darker sides of magic. In these hushed conversations, the memory of Slytherin was kept alive. His life became a parable of ambition, a lesson in the cost of uncompromising beliefs. Some admired him, while others shuddered at the thought of his ruthless vision. Legends told of nights when the moon shone with an eerie glow. On those nights, a lone figure was said to wander the dungeons of Hogwarts. Some claimed it was Slytherin himself returning to inspect his creation. Others whispered that it was a descendant carrying on his forbidden work. The corridors would be filled with an unsettling silence, as if the castle itself held its breath. Those who experienced these nights spoke of a chill that went deep into their bones. Their hearts pounded with a mix of terror and excitement. The air was thick with the promise of secrets waiting to be revealed. Over the centuries, many sought to unlock the mysteries that Slytherin left behind. Scholars dug into old texts and dusty manuscripts. They searched for clues about the true power of the founder. Some discovered cryptic messages hidden in the very layout of the castle. Others found symbols etched into stone that resonated with dark magic. The deeper they delved, the more they began to question what they knew about the early days of Hogwarts. They wondered if the ideals of blood purity and the separation of magical and non-magical were mere echoes of Slytherin's own desire for order. His influence, though cloaked in mystery, was undeniable. Not all who explored these mysteries did so with good intentions. Ambitious students and rogue wizards attempted to harness the ancient magic for their own gain. They held secret meetings in the dead of night. They studied the language of snakes and the art of legilimency. Their experiments were dangerous and shrouded in secrecy. In the hidden corners of the castle, they recreated rituals believed to be lost with time. Their actions stirred a darkness that many feared could never be contained. They believed that by tapping into Slytherin's essence, they could rise above the common magic taught in classrooms. Yet for every such act of rebellion, there were those who stood in defense of the old order. They believed that the magic of Slytherin was not meant for exploitation. They saw his legacy as a warning rather than a blueprint for power. They argued that the lessons of the past should teach humility and caution. This debate raged in hushed tones among the faculty. In the great halls of Hogwarts, echoes of this ancient conflict were felt. It was a clash of ideals, a struggle between ambition and restraint, between progress and the preservation of tradition. Outside the walls of Hogwarts, the impact of Slytherin's influence was equally profound. Dark wizards across the land began to claim a connection to his bloodline. They wore his name as a badge of honor. They believed that his spirit guided them toward a destiny of unmatched power. In secret societies, his teachings were interpreted in ways that fit their own dark ambitions. They saw themselves as the rightful heirs to a legacy that had been obscured by time. These groups emerged in the shadows of magical communities, always operating at the edge of what was acceptable. Their activities stirred fears and suspicion among those who held a more measured view of magic. Stories of betrayal and forbidden alliances became common in these circles. Every generation produced its own version of the tale of Slytherin. His life was recounted as a series of bold choices and devastating sacrifices. Many found inspiration in his willingness to stand against the established order. Others saw in him a warning about the dangers of letting pride and ambition override compassion. The lessons he left behind were as complex as the man himself. They spoke of the price of greatness and the burdens of legacy. His life was a tapestry of triumphs and tragedies, woven with threads of darkness and light. Even now, in an era of modern magic, the influence of Salazar Slytherin lingers. Contemporary wizards study his methods not merely as relics of a bygone age, but as living lessons in power. His ideas are discussed in hushed tones in classrooms and debated in the corridors of magical institutions. Every new mystery uncovered within Hogwarts reignites the discussion. Some insist that his vision was misinterpreted and that his true goal was to protect the purity of magical knowledge. Others condemn his views as dangerous and archaic. This ongoing dialogue serves as a reminder that history is never truly finished. It is an ever-evolving conversation, with each generation adding its own voice to the mix. In secret archives protected by spells and guarded by those who remember the old ways, there are records that hint at a deeper, more nuanced vision of Slytherin. These texts suggest that he was not merely a dark wizard, but a man of extraordinary complexity. They speak of a mind that was ahead of its time, of a man who saw the potential for greatness in every wizard. Yet his methods were brutal and his ideas uncompromising. The duality of his nature continues to fascinate and confound those who study him. His life remains a puzzle, a mix of brilliance and cruelty that defies easy categorization. The mystery of his disappearance adds to the intrigue. Some believe that he chose to vanish in order to become a ghostly guardian of his own legacy. Others argue that he was exiled by forces within Hogwarts who feared his growing influence. There are even whispers that he left behind hidden spells and enchanted relics meant to be discovered when the time was right. Each rumor adds another layer to the myth. His fate became a subject of endless speculation, a legend that transcended the boundaries of his time. The unanswered questions surrounding his life only fuel the desire to learn more. As the years passed, the lessons of Salazar Slytherin continued to inspire acts of both ambition and treachery. His ideals were adopted by those who sought to push the boundaries of magic. They experimented with forbidden spells and dabbled in arts that most wizards dared not approach. This exploration often came at a high price. Many who tried to harness his power found themselves overwhelmed by forces they could not control. Their downfall served as a stark reminder of the peril inherent in tampering with such potent magic. Yet, despite the risks, the allure of his legacy proved irresistible for some. They believed that within his shadow lay the promise of true power, a power that could change the world. This enduring fascination with Salazar Slytherin is a testament to his indelible mark on the magical world. His story is one of contradictions. He was both revered and reviled, a hero to some and a villain to others. His contributions to the establishment of Hogwarts are undeniable. Yet the very same contributions became the source of enduring controversy. His life and legacy force us to confront difficult questions about the nature of power, the price of ambition, and the boundaries between right and wrong. The journey to understand Salazar Slytherin is never complete. Each new generation of wizards and witches approaches his story with fresh eyes and new interpretations. His lessons continue to spark debates in quiet corners and grand halls alike. Even as the world of magic evolves, his legacy remains a constant reminder of the past, a past filled with both wonder and darkness. The echoes of his life remind us that history is complex, and that the line between genius and villainy is often blurred. In the end, the tale of Salazar Slytherin is not merely about a single man. It is about the enduring impact one person can have on the world. It is a story of ambition, of rebellion, and of the eternal struggle between light and dark. His shadow lingers in every corner of Hogwarts, in every whispered secret, and in every heart that dares to dream of power beyond the ordinary. The legacy he left behind continues to challenge us to question, to seek, and to understand the deeper truths of the magical world.